Hi guys, welcome to Fimi's Dessert View YouTube channel. It's been a while, right? So yeah, today we're going to be baking together the hot milk cake. This is another special recipe. This is really not a very commercial kind of recipe. It's a recipe that is good for home because it usually yields just a little, but I mean, you can always double the recipe as it permits you. Okay, so let us just go right into the business of the day now. First off, I'm going to be showing you how to prepare the whole milk that we're going to be using in this recipe. Whole milk, might not be easily accessible in your location, so I've come about with a substitute that you can use using readily available ingredients in your kitchen pantry. So we'll prepare that first of all before we then go ahead, because that's what's going into the recipe. So before we go ahead, that's the first thing we're going to be doing, after which I would come back to show you everything. So this recipe first of all entails you using the blender to prepare it, right? It doesn't require a hand mixer. It requires you using either the stand blender or the hand blender, as you can see here, that has the teeth like this. So I prefer this one because it's versatile, so you can just put it in any bowl or container to achieve the same result. It requires you melting the butter contained in the recipe, unsalted butter, together with the milk, the whole milk we're going to be preparing over the double boiler style. I will be doing that behind camera, but double boiler style simply is where you're getting a smaller bowl, like the stainless bowl preferably. You add the butter and the milk. This applies to chocolates and all that too, but this is for butter and milk. So you put that in, you put it over a smaller pot of simmering water, and you pop the dish over it, so it just dissolves. You are not melting it directly over heat because you're going to tend to over melt it. So that is how you're going to prepare the butter and the whole milk mixture that is going into the butter. So first of all, now let's prepare the whole milk. So for your whole milk substitute, what you're going to be needing is the regular powdered milk, full cream powdered milk. Here you're going to be using 1/3 cup of that. This range of cups here. This is 1/3 cup here. So 1/3 cup of this this measurement rather, with this milk, powdered milk. Any good brand is okay. Just make sure it is powdered milk, full cream powdered milk. I always recommend peak milk because that's full cream powdered milk. So you just need to simply pop this into a cup as seen here, and then you add up 1 cup of room temperature water. Okay, so what I do normally is to ensure that I don't have lumps in it, I just take a little bit. First of all, I just try to mix it into a paste, to get rid of any possible lump you might want to go in. And the thing is, for this recipe, I'm not going to be using the entire 1 cup of whole cream milk. I'm going to be using just half cup, so I'm going to still have some leftover. So this is the entirety of the water I already pre-measured. So you notice that it is not as thick as it will be if it's an evaporated milk or a full cream milk. So I'd reduce the fat content considerably by making it the whole milk. So this is your whole milk that is ready. So we're setting that aside. So for the purpose of this video, I would go ahead to measure out half cup. Okay, I don't have my half cup here, so I have everything pre-measured already. So it's just the milk I have not prepared. So yeah, half cup of the milk. So the prepared whole milk we just prepared together. So here, this is half cup here. Okay, just half cup like this. So I will now go ahead to pour this right back into this bowl. What is the only handy bowl I have here? So I will just simply set aside the leftover for some other time or for some other recipe. So at this point now, what we're going to do is to now kickstart the process. The first thing you're going to do, usually what I always advise is, normally the ideal thing is for you to start mixing up the egg, the oil and the sugar first of all and set it aside. But what I always advise is to prepare the hot mixture first of all, because you're going to be using that at a close interval at the time you're making it. So what I'm going to do is just pop this, the butter, unsalted butter and the milk into the bowl and get that melting away, so that once I start processing this, once it's done, I get it out immediately and it's heated, because you need to use it as it is hot. Remember, it's a hot milk cake, so you can't use it whilst it is room temperature. So then I work with it. So rather than just putting this and then setting this apart for minutes, several minutes, so I'll go ahead. Just bear in mind that if you have your melted butter and your milk ready, you can start the process like this. But for me, I will first off melt the oil. I will first off melt the unsalted butter as seen here. Pop it into the stainless steel bowl as seen here. This is just to and then just add the milk into it. As seen here, I'm adding the milk we just prepared together. So I will then go now to pop this over the double boiler style I said. Whilst it's boiling, I'll stir a little frequently and then come back to make this, or rather prepare it and let it sit here with me, since I know what I'm mixing here is not going to take 2 seconds, so that we can work smart. So I'll be back. Okay, so this is what it looks like when your water is simmering, and you can see how the pot is going over it. You can see that the pot is bigger than the bowl, so it just simply holds it in place. So I will just go ahead to melt this now. So the melting process has started already, so everything is going to melt entirely, and then we're going to have a golden yellow turn off. Okay, so this is what it looks like after melting it. See, just right, not boiling out, just melted. Okay, so I'll go ahead now. You can see how the water is simmering from underneath of the bowl, so that is just how it's supposed to be. So we'll go right now to continue with the process. Is ready now, so let me give you a quick run on the recipe now. So I'm going to be needing 2 eggs, 2 large sized eggs goes into it now. 2 eggs. Okay, we're going to be using sugar, and the sugar is 120 grams or 3/4 cups. Now when you're measuring your 3/4 cups, make sure that it's on the line like this, not the heap, because anything that is the heap is going to turn out an excess. So when 1 cup of this is the sugar line, so 3/4 of this kind of cup on the line of it. As seen here, this is actually 1/4 cup. I pre-measured everything. So what is going in now is now going to be oil. Oil is 1/4 cup already pre-measured. Just add it into the eggs, and then the sugar already pre-measured already. Like I said, 120 grams or 3/4. So at this point, this is the time you just work it very quickly. This is the part that gets interesting, because you really cannot achieve this kind of result if you use a hand mixer or no mixing, maybe with any equipment. So the best thing to do, you can see the result is giving, makes it process really thoroughly and fine. For about a minute or thereabouts, you can see how it has thoroughly blended the mix, and after that, that is going to be all you need to use the mixer for. Okay, so you can set that apart now. Okay, so after that, you then go ahead to start adding the dry ingredients, which comprises the flour that I already pre-measured. Remember, I said the flour is 150 grams or 3/4 cups of flour. So either ways, it's either, if you don't have access to your digital scale to get your 150 grams, you can easily use up 3/4 cups, to achieve the same result. So when you add the flour in, the next thing is, before you mix it in, you add your 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Here I'm correct, right? Yeah, so 1 teaspoon of baking powder goes right in now. Use something to open it. So here, 1 teaspoon of baking powder goes in, and then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Remember that you're using unsalted butter, so that's why you need to add up a bit of salt, so that you don't have a bland taste in your result. So 1/2 teaspoon. So basically you just add all of this together. So this is where your whisk comes in handy, a wire whisk. So you just simply mix it all together till it's thoroughly combined. As you see, remember I told you it doesn't really yield much. So here, this is what it looks like at this point. Okay, mix it in thoroughly. So, and then you just add up your hot milk all at once. Then before you start mixing, you add up your 1 teaspoon of vanilla, goes right in. So all that is left is for you to mix this in rather very thoroughly till it is all incorporated. And you see what the texture looks like. What I will do is, before I pour it in my prepared pan, remember that you can use any shape of, you can even use a loaf pan, but for me I'm using this 6 inches sized pan, already pre-buttered, pre-oiled and lined with the parchment paper to help it to bake better. So this is what the texture looks like. So for further emphasis, I will just show you what it looks like using my spatula. See, can you see? It's supposed to have this really smooth texture, as you see. Can you see that? So the batter is ready now. So you just go ahead to pour this into your pan, and don't forget to preheat your oven to the mark of 180 degrees as always. So 180 degrees centigrade, and you pop it into the oven, and it will bake for about 35 minutes or until your toothpick inserted at the center comes out clean. Once you pour it in the pan, you're going to have to tap it gently on the work table a couple of times, 3 to 4 times, just to ensure that you get rid of any air pockets that might be incorporated through the mixing process. So I will be back in about 35 minutes or thereabouts when it's ready to show you the results. So hold up, let me tap it gently. So welcome back, guys. So our hot milk cake is ready now, out from the oven. So this is what it looks like. So I will just go ahead to turn this over, flip it nicely. Okay, still warm to touch a bit, but I can still handle it. Yeah. Oosh. Okay, this is what it looks like. So I will just transfer it to the table now and just cut through very quickly to make this video as fast as possible. And there you have it, guys. This is what the hot milk cake looks like. It is so full of flavor and has a very nice texture, I must tell you. Look at what it looks like on the outer side, the bottom side and the side. So it is a very perfect cake for tea and to just enjoy with family. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're going to try it out, and I hope you learned something new today. Okay, feel free to try this with your family and friends and just enjoy it during the weekend or anytime possible. If you found this video helpful, do well to give me a super thanks using the icon below and give us a shout out. Give us your reviews, let us know your feedbacks, your questions and everything. Drop them under the comment box and we'll be glad to answer to everything as fast as we can. So till next time, and yeah, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Okay, let's continue to build a network in this online cake university, right? So till next time, guys, I remain your favorite girl, your favorite baker girl, Phoebe's Dessert View. Bye.